All right, welcome back. I think this is what is this, our fifth show, I think? Where we will September, January, February, March. How did we get to September already? April, May, June, July, August. Oh no, this started in April. No, or did this start in January? Hold on. Oh, I guess let me just go through the show first. Well, here we are. VCW Road to Revolution. First up, our first tag match we've had here in the promotion. It's the Briscoe brothers. This is technically the Motor City Machine Guns, but they didn't seem to have a team established yet for them in the database. I could have just named them the Motor City Machine Guns, but I figured since they're just starting out here, they're fairly young, they're going to go as the next wave. And then later on, when they go on to TNA or Ring of Honor, wherever else, they can have their name back. But great wrestling, good heat. The Briscoe brothers pick up the win. The crowd heat at the end of that was hot and rising, so very happy with that. Our ratings here, wrestling did a 40, crowd rating did a 20, and segment rating did a 37. Let's see. Mark, okay, yeah, Mark and Jerry got tag team specialists. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley showed excellent chemistry together. Yeah, well, I should hope so. Match got the show off to a strong start, and it got the crowd hotter, so very happy with that. After that, we had a promo, self-serving promo from Ken Anderson. He says it was average, but it got the crowd hotter. He's here again talking about, the one self-proclaimed best in the world, CM Punk. And he says he's got the title for now, but he'll end up taking that title away from CM Punk when he's good and ready to. And the crowd heat at the end of that was white hot. Segment did a 32. Very nice. And Nikita versus the Amazing Kong. Decent wrestling, but little heat. Amazing Kong picking up the win here in her debut. Crowd heat at the end of that was very hot. Wrestling was a 29. Crowd rating was only a 3. Crowd was really not into it. Okay. Segment rating overall did a 33. Both of them got very good ratings on their gimmicks. Samoa Joe here talking a big smack about Sheamus. That's basically it. Just, keeping the pressure applied and not letting Sheamus go by without knowing that Samoa Joe doesn't think much about him. Crowd heat at the end of that was very hot. Segment rating did a 47. Good job for Joe. And Adam Pearce and Ace Steel. Wild brawl that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Ace Steel picking up the win over Adam Pearce. Let's see, crowd heat at the end of that was very hot. Wrestling did a 36. Crowd slightly more into it than that women's match, but still not really feeling the match, I guess. And segment rating did a 36. Promo from Jay Lethal, just out here, working the crowd over, putting himself over. Crowd heat at the end of that was very hot. Segment rating did a 41. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, look, and now we got 82 people. I think last time we did like 78. So, and that was a big jump up from the 40 whatever paying customers we had. Given the way the tickets for free, doubled our audience size. So that's good. Samoa Joe versus Sheamus. Superb wrestling, good heat. Samoa Joe picking up the win over Sheamus. Crowd heat at the end of that was very hot. Wrestling was a 46. Crowd rating did a 22. And segment 52. Another good matchup, another banger from those guys. And here we have it. CM Punk versus Daniel Bryanson for the title. It says, in an exceptional match, CM Punk picks up the win over Bryan. Wow, with the Pepsi Plunge. Okay. And during the match, Kim Anderson came out. He was trying to, screw Punk over and get that title away from him, but he ends up messing up and hits Bryan Danielson by accident during that matchup. So defense number 2 of the VCW heavyweight title, and still the champion, CM Punk. Crowd heat at the end of that, very hot. Got the crowd buzzing. Wrestling did a 56. Crowd did a 33. And the segment rating of 55. Let's finish the show. Overall, it did a 47. Increased popularity in one region. Hopefully it stays this time. So yeah, let's finish that up. No financials. Now we are negative $16,717. Ouch. Popularity. Yeah. There, we're moving on up. I don't know. Randy Savage is retiring. No, say it ain't so, Macho Man. Other than that, I'm not seeing any other headlines. We could see what they think about us. It's a great show. Extremely positive feedback. I like it. Yeah, nothing else in the headlines. I don't got any mail, so I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, here we are for the next show, VCW Lockdown. We got 94 people. Steady, we're increasing our audience every show. That's good. Who knows, pretty soon, maybe on the next one, we'll have 3 digits worth of people. And starting off the show, we got Bobby Roode versus Kevin Steen. And decent wrestling, didn't have much heat. Steen picking up the win. Crowd is hot and rising at the end of that, so that's good. Match got the crowd hotter and got the show off to a strong start, despite the fact that crowd rating was only a 7. Crowd really not all that into it, but hey, it said they got the show started to a strong start, so whatever. Up next, Prince Iaukea, and versus Matt Seidel. Good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. The Prince picking up the win. White hot crowd heat at the end. Match got the crowd hotter. Perfect. Wrestling did a 36. Crowd rating did a 16. And our segment was a 33. Up next, it's a poor 5-minute interview with a promo. He's cutting a promo. Nick Halen just showing up, saying he's new in ECW and he'll take on anybody who wants to step up. Crowd heat at the end of it, though, was very hot, so that's good despite whatever. Segment rating only did a 19, but who picks up the challenge laid down by Nick Halen? That would be Pac. And they had a decent match, decent wrestling, but little heat. And Pac picks up the win over Nick Halen. Crowd heat at the end of that, still very hot. The wrestling was a 27. Crowd not that into it. It was a 3. The crowd is not feeling it. And a segment of 25. Now we have Ricochet versus Evan Courageous. In a decent match, Evan Courageous picks up the win. Crowd heat at the end of that, very hot. Wrestling did a 30. Crowd rating only a 9. Overall segment rating 35. So the crowd kind of, I don't know, they're not like all that into it seems, at least not for these guys, but the crowd heat is still going great, so we'll take it. Here, little backstage, or backstage back here, whatever. Little Sheamus taking a turn for him to talk some smack about Samoa Joe. So he did good. Crowd heat stayed very hot. Yeah. And our segment rating did a 37. And on to their match. It was a wild brawl. They had superb wrestling and good heat. Samoa Joe, again, putting Sheamus down and picking up the win. This time, submitting the Irishman with the coquina clutch. My goodness. Crowd heat at the end of that was very hot. Wrestling was a 48. Crowd was a 23. Segment was a 53. Samoa Joe benefited from having the hot new move. The great performance of Samoa Joe really stood out, and Samoa Joe benefited by being in amazing form. So Joe, just all around one of the greatest out here doing it. Promo battle. Let's see. Okay. Amazing Tom and Beth Phoenix kind of, go toe to toe and stare each other down for a moment, and little bit of a heated confrontation, I guess you would say, between the two. At the end of that, it was a very hot, and then segment rating did a 50, so good for that. And now their matchup next here for the women's title. Beth Phoenix, the champion, putting it up against Amazing Kong. Good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Beth Phoenix picking up the win, so keeping that title. Crowd heat at the end of that was very hot. Wrestling was a 33, crowd was an 8. Again, the crowd not really all that into it. And segment of a 31. Okay. Ken Anderson, again, talking up a big game about himself and, putting down CM Punk at every chance that he can get and sneak a line in there. Vowing to take the title off of CM Punk this time. He said he's done waiting. He's let CM Punk, hang on to the title long enough, and tonight he's going to take the belt away from him. So crowd heat, very hot. Segment rating, 37. Going to the matchup. Had great wrestling, good heat. CM Punk defending his title again. This time, putting closing the books on Ken Anderson here with the defense of this title. Very hot at the end of the match. Wrestling was a 37. Crowd was a 23. Overall did a 43. Now it says CM Punk was really off his game, but he also benefited from having that move, and the match got the crowd buzzing. So that's a good way to end the show. They got the crowd buzzing. Let's see what this says. We did an overall of 43, and our popularity increased. So that's good. That's all we can ask for, is for our popularity to keep going up. I don't know. We're not addressed the locker room. Let's look at financials. How much negative am I now? Negative 21,187. Oof. But merchandise did move up to a 50. Before it was like 41, 42, something like that. But now, so that's good. That's good. And we're trying to do something. Popularity, yeah, and the tri-state going up to a 3. Right. All right. I'm not seeing, we don't have any mail. Who is this? Nick Mitchell. Shawn McCool signs for WWE. Rhea, Candice. Okay, this is the time when they're all starting to show up in the WWE. What did we get here? 94 fans, extremely positive, and it was a great show for us. All right, liking that. All right, so there was that. Slowly gaining popularity, but we're still hemorrhaging money so badly. We need to do something about that, and hopefully soon. I'd like to turn that around and start making some money at some point, but who knows? Might be a while before that happens. But there we go. Those are the shows. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. And as always, I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks.